Alright, so today we're going to be editing this picture here. It's of one of my friends, Whitney, and another friend of mine, a new friend of mine, Greg. Appreciate y'all again for the shoot. I've already done my basic adjustments here in Lightroom. Here's the before, here's after, before, and after. So what we're going to go ahead and take it over to Photoshop. We're going to do a bit of skin retouching. So I'm going to start off by using some actions I got from Prince Mason. We're going to use his advanced frequency separations, global dodge and burn, and his eye and teeth whitening. We may need to, I'm not sure, it's a little out there, so yeah, we'll use that as well. I'm going to go ahead and run those real fast. I'm going to set mine to about 11. I'm just going to do that, dodge and burn, and eye and teeth whitening. Like I said, it's a little eye, so we can brighten that a bit. I was going to start off by zooming in. We're going to see some slight imperfections here. We can go ahead and correct. So the way we use this one here, we click on the high frequency copy, and we're going to hit S, that's for the clone tool, and we're just going to sample some skin and get rid of a few blemishes. Just make everything pleasing to the eye. And if you're wondering what that icon is, that's when you hold Alt. I believe it is Option on the Mac. I'm not 100% sure, so forgive me. I am operating on PC. So we're just getting rid of a few, blemishes here to make the skin a bit smoother. You always want to sample from the skin close to what you're trying to correct, just to make it all look a bit more natural. You don't want to sample from like over here and come to the dark space. So it just doesn't give you the best result. And this is more so just a quick retouch. It's nothing too extensive. I'm still learning myself, as any person should. You learn with every shoot. So, like I said, it's just a very, very quick retouch. And you'll be able to see the full res image on my Instagram, and that's going to be Creative Dre. I'll pop that on the screen somewhere. Just make sure you go ahead and follow. I'll also put it in the description. And if you want to schedule your own shoot, like I said, just shoot me a DM or an email. It'll all be linked in the description. Now, usually I would take the hair off, but I feel like it kind of adds to this shot. So I'm not really going to, do too much here, but like I said, I'll still clean up a bit. All right, so we just did our first pass here, just cleaning up the skin. It's real subtle. Like I said, you probably can't see it from afar. I know I can because I made the changes. Like I said, just making things a little less prominent. After that, we're going to click on our low frequency copy layer. This is usually going to really like blend the skin and make it a bit more smooth. Give it that, what's that word I'm looking for? Give it that finished look here. So I'm going to take a decent sized brush. And I'm going to work with the highlights and the midtones. Like I said, just kind of blending them together. You don't want to go too overboard with this tool, because there is a such thing as too much. Kind of take away from the picture. So you can see if I click before and after, just moving the skin out just a tad. So just going to continue to do that. And if we lose any of the shadow or the highlight, we can always get that back when we go back to our dodging and burning. Close the folder. This is before, this is after, before, and after. So after that, we're going to go ahead and go to our dodge and burn. They're all worked off with layer mats. We're going to click on the dodge, and we're going to go to our brush. Now for the flow, I always set mine to around 3%. And then I'm going to zoom in. Like I said, we're going to create some highlights, or bring out some highlights, I should say, that's already there. Increase the brush size here. And if you don't see your brush, just click on your caps lock button. So this is with caps lock on. You don't see how big the brush is. Click the caps lock and take it off. You'll be able to see that brush, just in case you ever had that issue. But you just think about where the highlight usually hits when you take pictures. It's usually on the cheek. You always want to brighten up the under part, of the eye as well. But the cheek, just take a look at the pic. You can see my flash was angled off camera right. So you can kind of see where the light hit. This is just real subtle. Hers you can see on the nose, the lips. I always do lips as well. It kind of makes them pop a little more. That's our preference. And then on her skin, going to go to our brush, increase it. Just gonna hit those highlights again. And it's different with males. Like I said, you can still hit the highlights, but it's a big thing that I learned doing a few pictures, which they'll also be on my Instagram. But if you have muscle, or places that are separated, like here on the collarbone, you always want to define those shadows. It makes it a bit more prominent, like in the chest. And then I'm just going to contour his face. If you don't know much about dodging and burning, I actually learned about it just watching my fiance do her makeup. So if you learn about contouring and highlights, it can definitely help when it comes to learning about dodging and burning. So it's before, after. Before, after. You do the full image. Before, after. To make things pop a little more. And I did see some things I want to kind of go back on. I'm going to go back to this layer here and get my mixer brush tool. And I'm going to come back up. You can copy these settings up here. I did copy these from Prince Mason. Like I said, it kind of gives you the best result. But I'm just going to go over this again. So just smooth the skin out just a tad bit more for my liking. And then I'll go back. Like I said, you want to make sure you're working with the white brush. If you have a black, mask icon here, make sure you have a white brush to paint onto it, paint the effect on. And after this, what we're going to do, we're just going to do that little bit of eye here. This is the eye and teeth whitening. So if they were smiling, you of course want to touch up teeth as well. But it's just real subtle. Like I said, it's a little eye showing here. We're going to go to our brush. We're going to make that really small. We're just going to hit, after we put this on 100, just going to hit the eye just a little bit to bring it out a bit more. Nothing too much. It's like, see with that, she brings it out real subtle. So after that, you have the full image. I'm gonna do one last thing here. I'm going to add a what's this here? We're gonna go to our levels, and for this one's gonna make it a bit more contrasty. So I'm gonna increase the highlights by dragging this to the left and bring in the shadows a bit more. Bring that to the right. You don't want to go too overboard. It should be just enough. After that, I'm going to group everything just to show you. We have before, we have after. Before and after. So that's basically how I do my retouch. And I do that on any picture that I'm going to post, on a social media platform. But I do hope that this helped you all out just a tad. Be on the lookout for more tutorials. I go more in depth with my editing process. Like I said, everyone's is different. So I definitely go into more detail in the future with more tutorials. Be on the lookout. If you did like this video and it helped you a bit, please be sure to subscribe. You can subscribe to me at Creative Dre. Also, make sure you give me a follow on Instagram, and I'll also put these two link to their Instagram in the description below. Appreciate you again. This is Creative Dre, and I'm signing out.